Okay, well, hello everybody. My name is Harold Games, and welcome to the start of my off-season video. Just gonna do YouTube just to make sure that this is still working. Just making sure my audio is working. Okay, not the best, but we'll work with it. So, as you have seen, we did end up losing in the third game of the wild card series. 3-0. I had a lot of good chances, especially in that second and third no out situation. I should have at least scored one run. I wanted to actually go conservative on that inning, try and look for a pitch. And my best pitch really was that first pitch of the bat to Sawinski, I believe it was. So, but year one was not a year that I wanted to win a World Series, even though it would have been kind of cool to at least move on to the divisional series. But once again, in Pittsburgh fashion, cannot escape the wild card round. Joe Musgrove shoved, complete game shutout. Most games, if you saw, I ended up starting Ronzi, or putting Ronzi in the bullpen, and having Skeens start over Contreras. As you can see, Contreras had a really good outing out of his bullpen. Basically, the main reason why I did this is because, one, everyone else in the bullpen was gassed. Like, every bullpen pitcher would have had to go against like the last batter of the inning potentially. But everyone was gassed. I wanted Skeens to be able to get a chance to start. Unfortunately, it just did not work out for us, and we ended up losing. So we have a long offseason ahead of us. We're going to be losing quite a few players to free agency, like Kendall Graveman, although he did not pitch that well for us. Limited time. The main man is definitely Roldis Chapman. He is not. I'm not gonna have him come back to the. He didn't make an All-Star. I forgot he didn't make the All-Star team. But the biggest thing right now is to figure out what we're gonna be doing for our team. We're gonna be losing Andrew McCutcheon. Can make a splash in free agency. Really need to upgrade my second base position. But when you look at second base, we have Tamar Johnson, who I think I'm going to keep down, and I'm going to give it an opportunity in the spring training episode. I'm going to player lock with him, hopefully, a couple times. But we have Nick Gonzalez, who's young, but he is just not played well. He is only 71 overall, but the other guy, where is he at? Leonardo Peguero, the main guy who's starting, just is not. Second base right now, besides Tamar, is kind of like like Leover was a negative 1.5 WAR player. Like, they're going to be good probably down the line, but if we really want to try and get back to the playoffs next season, it'd either be smart to call up Tamar and have him slide into the everyday role, push Gonzalez to a bench bat, and then let Leover develop some, mainly his hitting in AAA, see what happens. We can go with that role, or we can take a look at the free agents, and if there's like a big-time free agent, we can let Tamar continue to develop down in AAA. Because he is only 19, and I don't want to call him up too early to make his potential go down to a B potential. Because I see it a lot more in this game compared to games in the past where you call them up and they have a really bad start to their MLB career. Their potential will drop down to a B, and I don't want that for Tamar. Because he is like our best shot at getting a chance at having a future at second base as of now. We have other guys that have major league time, but they just have not played well. But as you can see in the bottom right, we have 88 men on the total rosters. We need to get that to, I believe, 94. 94 is the required as the maximum you can have on a roster. Remember, we're going to have some guys get on the draft tonight. Don't worry, I will make sure the draft this year is way better than what I want. But we have to figure out what we want to do with Mitch Keller. He's under contract for a very long time. He had a better year this year in terms of ERA. In terms of WAR, he dropped down a bit. Everything kind of dropped down a bit. His FIP was higher, so we'll have to see what we do with him. Again, pretty hefty, or not hefty for the Pirates, not a hefty for a normal team. At 15.5 a year, it's not necessarily a small contract. So, and I can't remember when he got his extension. I know last year he started off really well. I wonder if that was the year, but yeah, just kind of took a step back. Did pitch the most innings of his career, but we'll see what he does next year. We have Johan Oviedo, who I believe had Tommy John surgery. I can't remember what happened with him, but he developed up to an 80 overall in single A. So he still got development for being injured. He'll definitely be probably our number 2. We're going to be losing DeSclafani to free agency. I don't care about that. We're going to have Ronzi. So we're our starting 5. We're also going to be losing Lauer, which I think I extended him, which he actually pitched pretty well for us in limited time. We're going to see what we do for Jerry Jones. His overall is mainly being carried right now from his stamina being high and his velocity. And he only has a 3-pitch mix according to the game, so I don't know if he's quite ready yet to take that jump to MLB. He is not on the 40-man. I don't believe he is going to be required to be put on the 40-man. So I think we'll give Jared at least half of the year. Oh, maybe up until September call-ups. But then by that point, I might just be like, maybe we shouldn't call him up and just let him stay another year in AAA. You have Anthony Solometo in AA, who's up to a 70 overall. Quinn Priester. I think he's gotten some playing time, yeah. Limited playing time. I think this is a guy that we drafted. So, I don't remember who we drafted. It's been that long. Again, I've had a lot of busy stuff with work, but anyways. So, the main goal today is just to get through the entire offseason in one video. We're going to simulate round by round here to see who makes it to the World Series, who wins it and stuff. What I did not do, I don't believe, when my audio was not working, look at who won awards and stuff for regular season. And if I did, I don't remember. I'll just go through them again. And this time I have audio. For some reason, I turned off my microphone and I turned it back on. I spent like 10 minutes trying to get it to work again, and it's finally working. That's why I wanted to just test the audio while I was recording, just to make sure. But Acuna won MVP. I believe this is his second one. Yeah, he was back-to-back years. Ohtani did really good. Really, really good. His pitching was not as good in terms of ERA, but overall not bad. And the AL, Yordan Alvarez won it with Judge and Soto coming up close. I think Juan Soto is probably a guy that I'm going to consider, and I mean consider, targeting in free agency, even if he has a qualifying offer. But we'll take a look at that here later in this episode. Strider runs Cy Young. I believe this is his first Cy Young. It is. So he's pitched really well. He's shoved in his entire career. I mean, like literally shoved. Yamamoto, the rookie, finishes second, and then Shohei finishes third. In the AL, Shane McClanahan, as usual, wins it. I believe he was supposed to be on the injury list the entire year, but it is what it is. Batting title, Ronald Acuna Jr. did his thing, and then Yordan Alvarez did his thing in the AL. And then I believe this is our lone award winner, but David Bednar won reliever of the year, 3-time All-Star player. We have him locked under a contract for 2 more seasons after this, or started for 2 more seasons pretty much now, because we're out of the playoffs. Really good last year. His ERA at one point was below 1. I believe he only had 1 blown save, but he's done really well in limiting blown saves. 109 saves to 11 blown. That is a really good ratio, and ever since he's come to Pittsburgh, he is shoved like he's out of his mind, man. Munoz wins it in the AL. Class A was very close. Who has a really team-friendly contract for many years, and just missed out on this second award. Yamamoto wins Rookie of the Year for the NL, and then Colt Keats for the AL. Gonna assume they base it off of home runs because they 1.5 WAR. Evan Carter, jeez, this dude. 6.8 WAR as a rookie. How do you not give him the Rookie of the Year? Like, seriously. 6.8 WAR as a rookie? Like, his teammate barely missed out. Wow, I'm shocked that happened. Hank Aaron goes to Acuna again, so he's just collecting accolades. Juan Soto wins it for the AL. Pitchers for Gold Gloves, this doesn't really matter. I don't believe we had anyone win Gold Gloves this year. I can't remember. A lot of Pirates, or Padres. It's not surprising. I think Bednar was the only guy. Okay, so we had Brian Reynolds from Silver Slugger, who was in Silver Slugger for the outfield. So, but overall, I think this year was a really good year for us. Was kind of hoping not to make the playoffs just because we don't get a lottery. We won't get a lottery pick now. And we won 90 games, so it's not like our pick's gonna be like 17, 18. It's probably gonna be around like 22, 23. Maybe a little bit less, maybe 20. But we're gonna have to scout a little bit later down the line. We might not have that potential to get a generational guy. But let's get this offseason started first. We gotta simulate some days. We'll simulate up until every Thursday. Alright, probably simulate a little too far. What's new? Dodgers swept Atlanta, and Arizona swept San Diego. So LA and Arizona in the championship series on that side. Texas swept Houston. Tampa Bay is on the verge of beating New York. And Tampa Bay does beat New York, so it's Texas, Tampa Bay. Just realized the Orioles did not make it to the playoffs. Where did they finish? Wow, they finished at 500. This is an old save, so the players aren't as developed as they are in news. Not an old save, this is an older roster, so yeah. Texas and Tampa Bay, and then LA and Arizona. We could get a rematch from last year. We'll simulate a game at a time. So I'm not started the World Series yet, or the Championship Series. So LA and Arizona tied at 1. Game 2 is going to be played between Tampa Bay and Texas today. So both series are tied at 1. Now we're going to see some baseball here. Let's see here. Dodgers take game 3. And they take game 4. Tampa Bay takes game 3. Tampa Bay and Texas are going to get 1 game here. And it's 3-1. It's 3-2 in the championship series. I guess I could look at this. 3-2, 3-2 on both sides. Dodgers win in 6 of Arizona, so Shohei's going to go to the World Series in his first season with the Dodgers. And Tampa Bay and Texas has a Game 7. And Texas wins it. I believe Tampa blew a 3-1 lead, which is interesting. So it's going to be Texas and the Dodgers in the World Series. I believe this will be the first game of the series right here. Nope, it must be this one. You have Dodgers win Game 1 and Game 2. So there's going to be a day off here. Game 3 goes to LA. Can they win the World Series? They do. They sweep the Rangers in 4. And Shohei wins his first series of the season. So we're going to be losing Derek Shelton's contract and our third base coach contract. That's fine, because I think Shelton was a deep potential. Qualified and stuff. Retired players. We had no one retire. Let's just take a look. I know this guy. Yeah, he played for Washington. Just did not play well. Anyone else? Maldonado, Shaw. Not really. No. Tyler Duffy retired. Played for Minnesota for the longest time. Sandy Leon, a catcher. Interesting. Luis Garcia. Had a pretty good year before he retired. Heath Hembry. Felt like Bro was old, way older than that. Steven Novosek. Interesting. Steven Strasburg retired, so the Nationals get off of that hefty contract. Gomes retires. Steve Abbott. That is not the Abbott that That is not the Abbott that I thought they had. Wade Miley retires. I'll go Vieira. Interesting. I did not realize he played for the White Sox. Brandon Crawford retires. That's a defensive guy gone. Julio Rodriguez. And that is it for all the biggish name guys. Kyle Barraclough retires. This guy was sick in the earlier MLB the show games with Miami. He was pretty cool to pitch with. Bumgarner retires. That's interesting. Anyone else? Johnny Cueto retires due to age. A lot of these guys are just free agents. Yuri's Familia retired. So, a lot of kind of bigger names retired. Chichi Gonzalez. He retired. Just was not a good player. Due to free agent market. Greinke retires. He is unable to hit the 3,000 strikeout mark because no one wanted to sign him. I think I considered signing him if we had a chance at, or if we weren't going to make the playoffs, just to get him that potential. Get him there. Torrey Hunter Jr. Okay. Dallas Keuchel retired. Interesting. Tommy La Stella, that's an old name, kind of old. Mike Mayers, I believe. I'm sure he could have gotten a job. Interesting. So a lot of retire. Sean Newcomb retired. Never used to be potential to be something big with Atlanta. At least he won a World Series with them. But yeah, wasn't the best. Spencer Patton, I remember he used to be a name to watch. Played for the Cubs. I don't know if he won a World Series. AJ Pollock retired. That's a bigger name. Derek Rodriguez. I haven't heard this guy's name in like a long time. He had just one good year in his rookie year, and then since then he's just has not been in the name. So a lot of interesting guys retire. Kirby St. John, what a name! He actually played in the bigs at some point. That's wild. And Chris Zamora, I don't know who he is, but yeah. So we got to replace our. No one was inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's interesting. So, exclusive free agents. We are unfortunately going to be saying goodbye to every single one of these guys. Just don't really want to have to bring them back. Like, we only have $105 million to work with this year. I mean, you're probably going to be looking at like a few million. We got to worry about extensions and stuff. Some of this is. The first big thing is we got to sign a manager. I'm going to let these coaches' contracts expire so I'm not like eating up a lot of money. The biggest thing was with my farm director having at least its okay attribute grade. So let's go find ourselves a manager. We can sign Dave Roberts. And I want us to continue to at least be up there contending. So let's try and go after Dave Roberts. We'll go for $25 million. 8.3 per. Not the best, but We'll see, and then we'll target a third base coach. We'll find someone who has a potential. So we'll do on Andres Nova. We'll get some fielding accuracy and speed on our team. Let's bump this up to 3.6. I feel like that's a solid range that I've been able to find in this game. So we'll just simulate a couple days. We'll see if we get anyone. So we did not get Novoa. We still have not heard back from Dave Roberts, who is... Why would he go to the PERS as the farm director? So let's increase this offer. Let's increase it to 26.5. I don't know why the Brewers would, why he would want to go there. Okay, we'll target Alex Saito. We'll give him a little bit less. I won't give him as much just because. Okay, so new manager. That is absolutely perfect. So we got Dave Roberts. Like I said, I don't know why he would have wanted to go to the Brewers. So this is when the real free agency goes into play. So we have 6 available spots on the 40-man roster. Oviedo's a big one. He's no doubt going to get picked up in Rule 5 draft. We'll also call him up to MLB. We'll wait and see who else needs to get to. We'll put Ciani there. He's younger. He is probably gonna have to get. He is gonna have to get some time up in the bigs. Gilberto Celestino is gonna have to be one that I have to add, just because I just wanna keep that depth for us. I think we're gonna be able to. I think we're gonna be fine with Matt Frazier, the left fielder. Forgot we had Olivares. I mean, he is, yeah. We have Sammy Ciani, who we just added, so I think he's gonna pass. We are not gonna do anything with these guys for arbitration. Let's renew some of these guys' contracts. So Oviedo, what is his arbitration year? So I would definitely want him to be part of this rotation. We'll give him a. Oops, no, not that. I mean, we could renew his contract, but I don't want to. Ruin anything. What do we think? So he's actually looking for less than $4 million. He's fine with 2.4 a year. Let's offer him that. He should get us there. Jared Jones is going to get an offer. Same with Tamar Johnson. I found out when you don't actually renew the contract on the screen, like when you go here, when you don't hit this, there's sometimes a glitch where the game will scroll you down a bit, and then there's been a couple times, like when I played with the White Sox on my own franchise, I would do that, and then I skip over a guy that all of a sudden gets shot up to the top. Like one time I had Colson Montgomery to have that happen to me, and I almost lost him to another team because I did that. And I also had a draft pick do the same thing. Like if you're playing this game, just don't go into that renew contract screen. Just go into the make an offer screen, and it should work out fine for you. But we're just gonna bring back everyone who is on this list that needs a spot, or that needs a contract. We'll definitely need to do a little housekeeping moves with the minor league system, with signing some guys, probably signing some veterans in AAA in case we have an injury and they need to be called up. But I definitely want to try and make a big splash in a position where we need and where we aren't where we won't block a rookie from having that potential, from blocking a potential rookie from a opportunity at the bigs, or we do that and because of the potential for a secondary position for that young player. But basically, the big guy that I would like to see if I can get is Juan Soto. Again, even if he has a qualifying offer, I still want to see if I can get him I'd be willing to lose a draft pick to be able to sign Juan Soto, because that's number one is Juan Soto. Number two, we could really use a big power left-handed bat, and another big power left-handed bat who could play multiple outfield positions. Maybe even potentially first base. I don't know. I can't remember his secondary positions. I know he's an outfielder. I don't think he's ever played first base that I've seen for maybe longer than a game. I think he's mainly stayed in left field. I don't know where the Yankees have him in real life. They might have him in right field. Or we can make him a DH. So we have lots of options. That's if we get Juan Soto, and if I do decide to offer him. Like, I'm still on the fence, not because of the draft pick, but because that's a lot of money that we'd be throwing at. But I also don't want to be like the real life Pirates GM and not offer big contracts to these guys. I actually want to win, have a chance of winning a World Series sooner than later. I mean, we already made the playoffs. We're not gonna have a high draft pick, so might as well try and look more towards going all in this year. So yeah, so free agency, Juan Soto is available. He does have the qualifying offer made on him already. I mean, I don't know. I don't see why we don't take a stab at this man. So he's only an outfielder. He's an extreme pull. Has all this. I mean, it's a 97 overall. He would demolish so many baseballs into Allegheny. So many baseballs. But first, let's take a look at our roster and see who he would be blocking in left field, center field, and right field. Obviously, we have Reynolds there, but no one else is blocking in case we decide to move Reynolds to center. He does not have the defensive stats to move him to center, so that is my only other concern, too. Taylor is under contract for 1 year. I probably am going to decide to trade him during this episode because he is regressing hardcore. Yeah, he hit the ball at the ballpark a lot, but he has really fallen off since like the first month of the year, because he was hitting over 350 through the first month of the year, and he has fallen off a cliff way too much. I mean, look at all of these regressions. His power against lefties isn't really going down. I mean, we could keep him as a bench bat, but I'd really like to try and give him an opportunity. And Sawinski, he did his thing. But we really don't have any guys that are going to be blocked by Soto as of right now in the near future. And we really just need a good defensive... Alright, I'm not saying that Juan Soto's not good defensive. I don't know. I believe he has a good arm. He does not have the best speed, so he would not have to be... He would not be able to be in center. His arm's not terrible. Not bad. How did he do in the field? He had 5 errors. I don't know what position he played. That is the thing. So we will see. What would it take to get him? He has no offers on him, by the way. He's 26, so I'd actually be down to lock him up for quite a long time. Maybe it's up to his age 35 years, so 9 years. He's asking for roughly $40 million. That payroll is going to go way up. We could backload it, or we could front load it. If we front load it, we get less money to work with for probably the first 2 or 3, maybe even 4 seasons. But we'd have way more money to work with at the back end, or we can backload it and try and contend now, and then see if the team would be willing to take that contract on. There's also Pete Alonso, who's getting a somewhat respectable deal, but I mean, the man really demolished the base. Has demolished 228 home runs. Jeez, how many is Soto? Wow. Soto's been in the bigs for. Well, I mean, the 53 home run rookie season has propelled these stats, but man has really done nothing but demolish the baseball. His power has gone down from the 99 to 94s, but we don't need a first baseman. Because we have Noda, who is going to be on this team for a very team-friendly deal. Hit 22 home runs. Really good year for us. His power against lefties is going down a bit, but his power against righties is going up. I like where he's at. But my biggest thing right now is I want to see if I can trade Michael A. Taylor and see what we can do. So, Michael A. Taylor. Don't know what's going to be realistic here. Could target an outfield prospect. But let's just see what the game gives us right now. So we can get another second base prospect, Nick York from the Red Sox. Shortstop prospect. I mean, we don't need a second base prospect because of Tamar Johnson. I really loved the opportunity at an outfielding prospect. It doesn't even have to be that good. A high potential guy. It could be 2 C's, young age, decent age, decent overall, and I'd be willing to take that deal. Like Tyler Madison, this is the guy that looks interesting. Ty Madden, I believe both of them have Major League time, just to get him into a new organization. Those are pitchers, not outfielders. Just seeing if there's a unrealistic trade that I just do them for the heck of it. So there's Steven Echeverria, 19-year-old, probably was drafted by the Athletics. I don't know, it's very tempting. So the Athletics have my #1 offer right now, because I'm not seeing any outfielders on any of these trades, by the way, that I'd consider. Maybe Carlos Montoya, but not really interested at the value. I mean, there's Ryan Weathers, who's interesting. I think I'm going to go with the Athletics. There's Vientos. But then we'd also be trading for a 48 overall C potential third baseman. Sergeant MacArthur. I mean, these are guys that take forever to develop in the minors. Steve Nunez is an interesting guy. But we have O'Neal Cruz there. So really our middle infielders are set for the future. We could look for an immediate impact guy in free agency for like 2 seasons. Just so Tamar really be a good MLB ready player when you call him up. I mean, look at this, 49 overall second baseman. I think we're gonna go with that athletics offer. Steven Echeverria, 69 overall, 19-year-old starting pitcher. Let's do it. This will free up a tiny bit of money. And we have free up another roster spot now, like we needed to do that anyways. He's going to be in AAA. I think we're going to send him down to AA for this season. Just for that. Jared Jones is a guy that I'm really going to watch. Like I said, I think I'm going to keep him down in the minors for the entire season. Maybe take a look at September call-ups. He's like, or near the trade deadline too, if we are not contending. And he's demolishing the AAA level. But I think our first bit of movement, so we free up a spot. So I'd love to try and target a Juan Soto. I could look and see what the other outfielders are right now. So left fielders, Teoscar Hernandez, which is an interesting offer. If we really wanted to just get a defensive back, I mean, this is literally like 15 home runs. Wow. This is really like a Michael A. Taylor, but better overall, higher upside for the short term. There's really no options at center field right now. And then you have Juan Soto. You have Santon there. You could put O'Neal in center, but I don't really. His vision is awful. I feel like we could definitely make something work if we, because we would be slotting Brian Reynolds in. I'd probably be putting him in center. We're gonna be so bad at defense in outfield if I do this. What is Sawinski? He has a better arm, better fielding. He's actually a decent speed guy. We could probably, actually, I think I'd put Sawinski in center. I'd move Reynolds to right and have Soto in left. Because Soto's slightly better defensively. He's just not that fast of a guy. So let's take a stab at Juan Soto. If we get him, we're going to lose a draft pick to the Yankees. But this is probably the perfect time to make it because that draft pick isn't going to be like extremely high. It is going to be like a second or third round. I can't remember what it is. But if we really want to have a chance at winning a World Series within the next two to three seasons to get this dynasty really started, I think this is the first move we have to make. And I think I'm going to make this a long-term deal, 9-year deal. I'm going to add a player option to sweeten the deal for him. He has no offers. I think for the future of this team, we are going to backload it. And we are going to definitely lose a lot of money towards the back end of his deal, which I want to really monitor. Because I don't know how they would do back-end contracts. Let me take a look at Neil Cruz's contract. I can't remember what I gave him. So I gave him well, he's assigned till 2028. I just want to pay close attention. Reynolds is fine. Sawinski. I just want to pay close attention so I can be able to pay these two guys, or Cruz and Sawinski down the line. But I think we should be fine. So let's take a stab at Juan Soto. He is now regressing besides his steal. So I think this is the perfect time to make an offer. We're gonna give him until his age 35 season. Catch a player option. We're gonna backload it. We're gonna knock this money down a little bit to try and swing it on our end to give ourselves slightly more room to work with. We'll knock it down to 330, and we'll make sure we take a look at this deal throughout. So 330 total over 9 years. So that's our first big move that we're hopefully gonna be able to pull off in free agency. We will monitor the contracts, but the pitching staff, now we're gonna be losing yeah, I think we put Lauer in the starting rotation for now. We lost two guys. We lost over Chapman and Graveman. So I do want to take a stab at some not lower overall guys, but guys that are going to be cheaper for us in that relief situation. Go after Matt Strom because we're going to need a lefty now to replace Chapman. I mean, we have Hernandez. Maybe not. I want to keep the setup position role here free because after watching some YouTube videos and constantly noticing it myself, this second setup guy gets like 30 games a season. I don't want to pay money for a guy that gets limited playing time that would actually help in a different role. I found Moretta being in the main setup role, and Bednar obviously closer. So let's take a stab at a couple relievers that we could get. Excuse me. Particularly not at the age of like Shafin, but a 1.93 ERA. A little concerning on the control, because he had. I mean, this is what a second setup man role stats would look like. But 16 walks and 32 innings. I mean, that's a walk every 2 innings. So he's giving up he's getting the guy. Yeah, it's a 4 point. I mean, really his control. He has an 87 control. Wow. And he's increasing in overall, which is kind of funny. So, I mean, let's take a look at him. So he's getting an offer from the Tigers for 5.6 per year. So let's give him a 2-year, and let's just give him 6 flat. That'll best their offer by a lot. He's actually interested in more years. So I'm fine with that. And then let's go down here a little bit and let's get a righty reliever that we could probably use who has no offer or a weak offer. Like Carl Edwards Jr. Went back to the Cubs, is kind of cool this year. Let's give him a 1-year deal, and we'll make it 3 years or $3 million. We'll do that if we can get both guys, and that'll finish up the bullpen because we only have enough room for 2 spots in that bullpen anyways if we continue with the 5-man bench. No, yeah, I don't want to have a guy stuck in the second setup role not getting much in terms of production. But yeah, we're hopefully going to be signing Juan Soto. Again, we will be switching. We'll be putting Swinsky in center, Reynolds in right, and Soto in left. And then I definitely would like to upgrade the second base position, if possible. What do they have there? They have Torres. Drury could be a safe 45 pounds. Jeez, dude is wanting money, but this is a guy that we could definitely use. Just so he's getting a 2-year. Let's give him a 2-year deal. Okay, so they're getting about 13.2 a year, the Angels. Let's just give him 15. 15. We'll get a club option. We'll see how he is at that point in time. Well ahead of the Angels. So right now we have $73 million in pending, with $102 million available budget. So that's gonna be very close to contract extension budget money. So we can always do some work to get that contract extension stuff ready. Which I don't know who would be online for an extension. Cruz, Reynolds, and Swinsky are fine. Triolo is fine. Noda's fine. Davis, maybe he might need an extension. I don't know if they're gonna have him one. But if they're arbitration eligible, we should be able to get it fine. I don't know why I extended Joe for that long, man. Yeah, so we should be fine in terms of extension money. But yeah, Tamar and Jared are definitely 2 guys that I'm going to be very, very close, or very, very quick to call them up if they are really dominating AAA around the deadline. But so we right now have 4 offers on the table. Obviously, the big one to Soto. We're looking to try and give Drury a 2-year deal to be our second baseman for the now and prepare for Tamar's future. It is a $15 million AAV, so that's gonna be difficult to move if he's really struggling, or if we have to DFA him. We'll see. We can always move him to the DH role because right now we have Jared Triolo there, who is not a DH caliber guy. He could play shortstop, he could play the outfield, but if we don't get Soto, I might just put Triolo in center, and if we get Drury, I'll put Drury DH. But let's start simulating and see what happens. So Snell goes to the Mariners. He leaves. Oh my gosh, he did awful. Leaves our NL. So that's the big signing on day 1. I'm shocked he got that big of a contract. So we got Saito, so our coaching staff is fine. Let's take a look at free agency. So I think we signed Carl Edwards Jr. We did. So our first signing of the free agency period is Carl Edwards Jr. Love that signing for 1 year. Just gives us a really good option with that pitch mix. To see what we can do with him. So I love it. Any other interesting transaction? Just a bunch of re-signings. So Ooh, no, don't do that. Wow, Arenado gets traded. Oh my gosh, to the Yankees of all teams. They're probably giving up on Torres. Wow, that's another big contract for them. They give up Jahmai Jones, who honestly this was a steal for the Yankees. The production and defense Arenado can give you. Wow. I think it's a steal for the Yankees, who are probably going to try and look to win the World Series soon. Still no movement on any other free agents, it looks like. So, but that's like a big deal in free agency. I don't think we didn't sign anyone, right? No. Now McClain and James Outman re-signed, so all the young guys are getting re-signed. Blake Snell's still the big free agent signing of free agency so far, and then obviously Arenado with his thing. Let's take a look at these contracts. We're still the only team that has offered a contract on Soto. For Chafin, we are still way ahead of the Tigers, and then for second base, Drury, we are still way ahead of the Angels. So, very slow start to free agency. Let's take a look. Anyone get signed? 2 guys got signed. Please tell me they got both. We got Chafin. I'm assuming we got Drury. We got Drury. So we got our second baseman for the now, which is really good. And we're gonna probably run with the same bench unless someone really is tearing it apart out there. After spring training, which you will not find out until next episode. But Drury definitely, well, obviously can figure this lineup when we get to that point. But man, I love that signing for Drury. 2-year deal with a club option, so with a team option. 45 home runs coming off of a power bomb city. Just looking to get offensive production out of that second base role. And we signed Chafin, however you say it, to not be our main setup guy. We're going to put him right here. Keep rid of it there. So that will be our role. I might adjust this so I can get Chafin up here. I don't know how it's going to work. I mean, Hernandez got a lot of time, and Holderman got a lot of time in these 2 roles. So, and I unfortunately can't change that. So we'll see. But our bullpen is set, I believe, for the future. I did not check the bullpen or the pitching stat. Okay, we know that. Oviedo got a couple of years schemes. He's a rookie, so he has plenty of years of team control. I'm mainly looking for guys that don't have team control for contract extensions. You know, Lauer, but not really concerned about that. Gonzalez, we're not concerned about re-signing him. Team control. Team control. Team control. And obviously team control. So Bednar is going to be the big name next year that we have to re-sign. But anyone else in free agency? Nothing else. That's big. Tanner Scott. So that's the second big move in free agency, going to the Rangers, leaving the NL. So 2 pitchers leaving the NL, going to the AL. Scott goes to Texas to try and help that bullpen. Really good stats. For only 10.6 per year for 5 years, that's a really good deal. Interesting. Okay, so more guys have joined the sweepstakes. The Mets are giving Soto way more money, but we are still the better offer. Oh man, White Sox have joined the race. So they're pretty much giving him what he wanted, but we are giving him less money, but our player option must give us slightly more value. Oh boy, that's gonna be interesting. What should I do? Because I really want to get Soto. Otherwise, we're probably gonna have to go after. Which, I mean, Teoscar Hernandez is not a bad secondary option, but I'd really love to get Soto as like a big splash immediately in free agency. Again, we only have, so we have 39 million in offers. If we increase it to match their offers, we would have no more budget left. I can push it to 340, but I'm not going to push it any further. How about this? 345 with a player option, backloaded. Significantly boost our offer. We are going to try and get Juan Soto and potentially ruin the future of this franchise, but I want him on this team. 40-man. Gleyber Torres goes to Washington. That was a second base option for a really cheap contract, honestly. 5 years, 8.6 per. And we got Juan Soto. Let's go. What a signing. What a signing for our this is our legit first big free agent signing of the series. Mainly because it's our first offseason of the series, but man. Corbin Burns also signs here. Or sorry, signs to the Angels. He leaves, or he goes to the AL West now. For actually a pretty team-friendly deal. Angels getting the better pitching, which is probably the thing that they needed. So, really good. So, our lineup is set. Juan Soto, we are going to make him play left field. We are going to make, I mean, we could put Trillo in center. No, he doesn't have the arm to be able to play center. I mean, Soto has the arm, but he just does not have the speed. So we're going to have to put Soto in left. We'll switch that. Put Reynolds in right, and we'll move Swinsky to center. Again, we'll fix this lineup when I get a chance. I just don't like the arm for Triolo. If he had like a 75, 80 arm, then I would definitely put him at center. But I just don't feel like he's a man that we can have slide in at center. So, yeah, that is our big free agent signing. We have 92 guys on the roster now, on the total roster now. So we can make like one more signing to add like a depth signing. But yeah, I like our starting roster. We could also target a better bench bat, or we could target a legit just DH guy that could hit some home runs for us. But I don't know if I want to take Triolo out of a role because he actually developed pretty nicely this season. Not as much for average, but he definitely developed more power. He struck out quite a bit though. 126. Strikeouts 114 games. What is that strikeout? 24% strikeout. I mean, he had a really. I'm not gonna take Trillo out of that role. But yeah, we got a power second baseman. We got a legit MVP guy that's gonna be playing our left field. We have Noda. We have Triolo, Swinsky, Reynolds. I mean, we have a good mix of youth, but our big signing is Juan Soto's contract, who is going to jump to $51 million in 2033. Man. So he's jumping to about around 4-ish million per season. So interesting. So in that year that we're gonna have to extend our guys, he's gonna jump up $11 million. So we'll see what we do. Maybe we can extend them in 2027. But we'll figure it out. We're going to be coming off the books of Drury about that time, obviously. And we're not going to have... We don't have that many big contracts. So we can sign like a... We can either go after a DH guy. Like Joey Gallo, for example. Although I don't like those stats for DH guy. I mean, we really don't need another lefty bat. It's like CJ Cron for like a DH guy, but I think Triolo is fine there. I think we just keep the lineup where it's at. Let's see here. we are gonna have Soto play every day, so we could play him at DH against left-handers. We are not gonna have Drury play center. Can Guerrero? No, he can't. I'm gonna have to move Drury to DH then, and have I guess we could put Drillo in center there, because we're not going to have Sawinski. So, we'll work that out. But, yeah. Or I just leave it where we're at, because we still have 3 more guys that we have offered contracts to, which would get us to 95, which I believe is 1 over the limit, so... Who do we not offer? Dang, they're all really good. Really good. Who is asking for the most money? Or asking for the same amount of money? We could just not. We could just withdraw all 3 of these offers and save ourselves $2 million going into next year. We could have needed. I mean, we're not. Although these guys are probably good depth pieces for the AA or AAA team. We'll just leave it where it's at. We won't do anything about these guys. So let's get some simulating going. Arbitration day is over, so yeah. Contracts, so there we go. Winter meetings. Tasker Hernandez goes on a really cheap deal to Seattle. Goes back to Seattle. I believe he played there. So yeah, and Pete Alonso also goes to Seattle. So 2 guys leaving the NL and going to the AL. So a lot of NL to AL moves in this episode. Here's the draft lottery. White Sox have the top odds. We do not have any odds of moving up because of our record. So we are going to have pick number 23. We know that for a fact. Who is going to win the draft lottery? Please, as a White Sox fan, give us at least a bone. Throw us a bone. And the White Sox do win the lottery. The Athletics move up 1, so the only spot that changed was Athletics moving up to number 2, and the Nationals dropping to number 3. So I guess the Nationals got screwed a little bit. But man, 3 teams winning below 60 games this season is shocking. Wow. But yeah, let's advance. Because of our roster situation, we're not going to be doing anything on the Rule 5 draft, but we'll see if anyone gets picked up. I don't think we have any picks. It's moving by really fast, so I'll just take a look at who got picked. Austin Cox. Wow, the White Sox screwed up here. They did not. Nick Nastrini, that is wild. Chase McDermott. I don't know where he played. Dennis Santana, that's just a reliever. Okay, I guess he was on our team. I don't really care. Ryan Murphy, a starter. Brandon Sims. I know this guy. I don't know. Maybe not. I was thinking of the other Sims guy that played for the Reds. So I have a young guy. This is a guy that I was considering trading for. Wow. Logan Cerny in the 2nd round. I believe that's it, because I don't know how many teams are going to draft more than 1 player. Adames goes to the Nationals. Bregman comes to the division. So that is a big rivalry guy. Holy cow, $319. Very, very cheap contract. And they replace Arenado with Bregman, that's a pretty good replacement. Way better hitter, younger, according to those stats. A trade, Freddy Peralta goes out of the division to the Guardians for Bibby and Kwon. Oh, jeez. We're going to have to deal with not only a decent pitcher, but we're also going to have to deal with freaking the Michael Jordan of contact hitters and Stephen Kwan. Oh, man. Clay Holmes goes to the Tigers. And simulates. I don't think we had any guys going into hearing for arbitration. so we don't have to worry about that. Ooh, man, that's gonna be a bad place for Max Fried. Going to the Athletics on a very cheap deal. Dude must have had the Boras agent, Scott Boras, because man, I feel really bad if you're going to Oakland with no real future of winning anything, just to probably have some decent stats. Pretty team-friendly contract, though. And we're at spring training, so there are some extensions. We only have 2 guys, which is really good. We're not most likely not going to be extending either of them. So we're not going to have to spend any money to extend guys and extend contracts. Guys that made that got an invite are obviously the main guys, but Kenneth Smith made it. I'm not going to try and say the last name. I believe Celestino was not in the majors. Palacios made it. Jason DeLay, veteran. Don Shishang made it. Actually looks pretty decent. Ji-Won Bae, he was injured all last season. That's why he did not play up in the majors. And then Sammy Ciani, a guy who we traded for, maybe? I can't remember. Pitching. Quinn Priester, Jackson Wolf. Let's see here. Josh Fleming. And then Brett Honeyman Jr. and Selby Ashcraft. So not a lot of guys. Most likely none of those guys are going to be staying up in the majors. But because of the contract extensions being so low and not extending it, I mean the free agency, so a lot of guys must have gotten signed. Mouthful McCutcheon. I'm sorry, man. I just don't want you on the roster. You're going to regress so hard. I'm sorry, man. So we moved up to number 13 in the rankings because of our team. I'm excited to see how Paul Skeens does. I think because he might still be considered a rookie. I don't think so, though. I think he would if his R was there. Think about the top prospects, though. Who do we have? So Tamar is expected to make his has his MLB ETA for this year. I doubt that's going to happen. Do we have any other guys in the top 100? Jared Jones, again, a guy that's expected to has an MLB ETA, but with the 3-pitch mix, I don't really know if I want him up in the bigs right now for this season. Kirk Gonzalez, I think this was our first draft pick. Maybe not, but he's a guy that's going to be interesting. So we have 3 guys in the top 100, and that's possibly it. No, we have 4. Anthony Solomento. So we have a lot of guys that are 70 overalls that could potentially be something. Luckily, they're not on the 40-man, so I don't have to worry about using up an option because they're so young. You know what? I could just get spring training done because there's none of the prospects are on the invited roster. So I think I'm just gonna get spring training done in this episode too, and just get us ready for opening day, the following episode. So let's get this simulation started. I don't play spring training games. Nobody gets hurt. That's okay. I'll just go on to 10-day. Not too big of a deal. That's our first baseman. So we'll just put Connor Joe there. Actually, do we have any young guys that can play first base just to get on time? We have ND. Let's put ND. Let's put ND there. We have a third catcher, so we don't. That doesn't matter. We'll put Joe out there against all these. Just curious to see what these guys do. We'll keep him on a 10-day. So he's back, so we'll replace him. Oh, they already replaced him for us. Thank you. Thank you, game. haven't seen Skeen. Oh, there he is. 995 ERA. Come on, Skeen. Let's get that down. That's this one. You got it down. You got a loss. Okay, spring training comes to an end. I now know not to advance in the regular season now. Oh, we won the Grapefruit League. That's kind of cool. Take a look at how the guys did in spring training. Brian Hayes hit 4 home runs in spring training. He hit 11 all last year. That's kind of funny. O'Neal Cruz did not do well. He's going down in overall. Are you kidding me? Oh, man. Reynolds only hit 1 home run. He drove in 13. Sawinski hit 5. Wow. Trella hit 4. Hit really good for average. Noda, Soda did pretty decent. Davis and Drury. Gonzalez, Peguero did decent. Good. Jason DeLay. That's an MLB ready guy, but he's not good enough to be on the roster, unfortunately. So yeah, the youngsters didn't do well, which was not surprising. My biggest concern is the starting pitching. This is starting pitching because they carried us for that first half of the season last year. But it was mainly the bullpen, I should say. But the pitching wasn't that bad. But then kind of fell off in the second half of the semester or the year. Whit Priester pitched really well. I don't think I'm going to keep him up in the roster in a big, so that'll be our first guy that we send down. Alright, so we'll send him down to AAA. Fortunately, I have to use an option. We're also going to send down Jackson Wolf, who is also a starter. We're also going to be sending down Luis Ortiz to AAA. Want to be careful with sending guys down. So Wolf already had an option use. Probably was last year. Ashcraft, because he's such a low overall, it's moving down to AA. So, yeah. Let's see here. Josh Fleming, we'll move him down to AAA. Does he have an option? No, he doesn't. I am certain he'll clear waivers. Brett Honeywell, we're going to AAA. I'm certain he's going to clear waivers too. Same with Selby if he doesn't have any. He does. So there we go. That should be our entire. Yeah, that's our entire pitching staff. We're good there. And in the lineups, Cannon. I'm sorry, man, but you're gonna have to go down. Probably our second option at least. So we have Ciani, who doesn't have an option. We'll move Ciani down to AA. And we'll move Cannon to AAA. We don't need 3 catchers, so we'll send down Jason DeLay to AAA. He probably doesn't have any options. Oh, he has plenty of options. Nope, not that. Lineups. Sung and Bay are going to go down. Probably we'll see Bay up in the majors at some point. I should put Sung in AA, but we'll get him in AAA. We just need to send down 2 more guys to have a full roster, or full ready roster, which I believe will be Palacios and Celestino. So yeah, Celestino's gonna go down to AAA. Palacios, yeah, he is a right fielder. So he's out of options, but it's okay. So I think we have, how many guys do we have on options? So we have 3 guys on waivers, so we definitely need to move some guys up to AAA, just probably 3. Any guys on, so we have a practice on who can get called up? Let's move this guy to AAA. The D potential guys, I'm not that concerned on really their potential. And then let's just move one more guy up to AAA. So that should be fine. We're good at contract extensions. Let's simulate the regular season. And there we go. So next episode will definitely be the whatever you call it, opening day. Here's our projected budget. So we have $27 million of an available budget this year. We have $139 million in player salaries. Staff salaries not that bad. I do want to actually take a look at my scouts. Oh, that's fine. Maybe we could replace. Where's the position players? Could replace Sherman Edwards with this guy. Oh, we can't afford him. Never mind. So, yeah, scouting will be something I do off camera, but I will definitely do it. Don't worry. But yeah, we are obviously on top of the NL Central. Let's take a look at the real quick before I go. Let's take a look at some of the other NL teams. Start with the Cardinals first. So, Sonny Gray is their top man. Bregman is their big man out of free agency. Very veteran-esque team. Donovan's on the IL for quite a while, so that is a loss for them. Their second baseman's gone, but they have Foreman who demolished baseball last year. So the pitching is definitely a concern for them in terms of starting. But the offense is looking pretty decent. They have Mason Wynn. Actually did pretty well last year. Yeah, they have a pretty decent roster right there. So I think the Cardinals are a third or fourth place team. I don't think they're going to be first or second just because of that pitching staff, unless they make some moves. The Brewers, they're honestly honestly worse. But they do have Tanner Bibby. They got him. They don't have DL Hall, who used to be a prospect for Baltimore, or Aaron Ashby up on the bigs. Bullpen is looking nasty. They have a pretty good they have a few good players, but I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna be towards the bottom of the division, just because of the potential. They'll probably. I actually see the Cardinals finishing third. I see the Brewers finishing at fourth or fifth. Reds are probably in that same situation with the Brewers. They just don't have that good of a rotation. Hunter Green did not improve at all. What happened to him? Rodolo did not pitch last year. Probably because of his injury. Interesting. Green didn't even start 5 games. What did he do? Come out of the bullpen? Interesting. What is going on in Cincinnati? They have an okay team. I think their offense is one of their biggest concern. But, besides, obviously, Taylor Cruz, a little slight improvement. I see the Reds finishing with the Brewers at the bottom of the division. And then the Cubs, I think, is going to be our biggest competitor, just based off of all their good players. And Shota isn't getting the love like he is in real life, because, again, I started this game, or this franchise, not too long after release. So he doesn't get as much love. This is also a roster that was downloaded, I believe. But I think the Cubs are going to be our. They have Joey Bart on that team now. They must have signed him. But yeah, I see the Cubs being our biggest threat as of right now. I don't know if this is like the preseason projection, NL Central standings right here, or if this is from last year, but honestly, this order in the standings is probably what I expect will happen in the simulation. Hopefully, I'm hoping we can win. Because we did not lose in NLDS. That's not right, but we lost in the NL Wildcard Series. So let's, number one, finish over 500. improve our win total by 2 or 3 games, try and get under 70 losses, make the playoffs, at least get to the divisional series, hopefully to the championship series. I still feel like our pitching is not good enough to be able to get us to that championship or World Series hump right now, but our offense is definitely looking better. I'm afraid I'm trying to go too far into win now mode, but we will definitely fix this lineup. But we will definitely play it. Still try and be conservative with our money to make sure we don't destroy our future. We're trying to extend prospects. I think Soto is probably going to be the biggest signing we make in this entire series because I want to get an opportunity to get this rotation and the younger guys an opportunity. So, but yeah, with that being said, I think that's going to be it for this entire offseason and spring training episode. The next episode you will see after this will be opening day. I might take the first month of the season while we open up against the Rockies for 4 and the Dodgers for 3. This is a tough first month, so the first couple weeks of the schedule. Play against the Dodgers, the Rays, the Mets. Mets might be decent. I mean, this is not the easiest first month of the season. Gotta go against Cleveland, who just traded for Freddie Peralta. Wow. I do want to play a lot more divisional games, though, because I noticed last year I did not play really any as the Rockies are 2-0 and coming into this game. I did not. I played against like one game against the Cubs, so I definitely want to focus a lot more on the divisional games, not all on the divisional games, because I still want to get out of division, interleague matchups and stuff like that. But they come in not ranked 9th now in the league. And we're gonna be playing against the Rockies on opening day in their City Connect uniforms. But yeah, I think I want to keep at least the first half of the season more divisional based in terms of who we play. But other than that, I think we are good to call it an episode. So with that being said, take care, have a wonderful rest of your day, and peace.